Well, welcome to the Brookhill Women's Podcast, where we are talking about all things being the woman that your season demands you to be. And we're going through different seasons, and we're talking about community and different stages of life. So we are very excited to have one of my most favorite people on the planet on the podcast today, Miss Terri, who also happens to be Melissa's mother. And we're going to talk about today one of the things that I think is Miss Terri's spiritual gift, which is hospitality and creating community. Yeah. And so obviously, Ms. Terri, your roots are very deep here. But we just wanted to start off asking you, like, where did you learn how to be hospitable, how to create community?
Oh, gosh. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Oh, man, where did I learn? Well, my mother we didn't have a lot of parties or anything like that, but I learned how to set a table, if that's what you're talking about, those kinds of things.
The details,
the proper thing, the proper way to, there are proper ways to do things. And Mother taught me that. And then obviously when I got to here, Hetty did the hospitality part was really Mim. From the time that we, I don't know, should I call her Mim or Hetty or I don't know.
I would say Mim because that's how everybody knows her.
Okay, everybody knows her by that. That's true. When I got there, I'd never seen so many people that didn't belong in your house, I mean, we had that when I was growing up, but there were 6 kids of us. So there was always somebody around that didn't actually live there. But at Mim's, there were people all the time flowing in and out and living there. She had people live there all the time. And but it was her gift to make you feel like you were immediately a part of the family, and to open up her home to people, everybody.
Yeah.
It really, if you, and I don't know the criteria, I don't really understand all of that, but as far as having people into your home, I knew when Tim and I were dating, if we were going to get married, I knew that would be a part of my life.
Yeah.
And sure enough, at 6 weeks after we were married was the first time that someone moved in with us.
Oh, wow.
And pretty much that's been happening ever since.
4 months after David and I were married was when someone moved in with us.
Yeah.
It's just a part of what y'all do.
It is.
Yeah. Well, Jason and I have been those people who have lived with you. Jason, 2 different times, actually. Jason separately, I think when we were dating, and then we had this like 3 or 4 week period where we were moved right into your home just as a stopping point for a second, and then moved in. So, and you're always so quick to do that. And I think so this past summer we had we do what's called team night on the weekends for the counselors, and every weekend is kind of a different thing. And so team night, everybody, all the cabin team, which was me and Jason's team, get together, do something fun.
Yes.
And I was like, I know exactly what they would love to do, which is go to Miss Terri and Tim's house and swim and have fun and do all things. It was their most favorite evening of the whole summer.
Oh,
they
that's
loved
great.
it. I have a picture of you feeding the donkey with with these counselors all around you, just mesmerized at you feeding the donkey an apple, and swimming and having fun and playing games in your living room, and how y'all are just so quick to say yes. Also, I said, I think we're just going to do some quick pizza and maybe a salad.
Yeah.
And out of your mouth, you go, over my dead body are these counselors going to eat Domino's. And
we
after
can do better.
working all week, and I was like, sure. So y'all said, we're cooking burgers. I'm doing watermelon. We're doing it. And then provided all these extra things that you didn't have to, but because that's what y'all do. It is in your heart to serve, to love, to invite people into your home.
I think you learn stuff without even knowing you're learning it.
Well,
Because that Mim. I've never seen Mim serve
absolutely.
pizza to in
Yeah.
the
Yeah, absolutely.
hundreds upon
Yep.
I mean thousands, honestly.
Yes.
The thousands
Yes.
of people that came through her house and sat at her table. Like, I've never
Don't start that now.
Sorry. I never saw her do anything less than the most.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. And also, I think, too, through the years, I mean, I was really like, because you see all these women doing things, and it's like, what's my gift?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What am I created? God, what am I created to do? I don't want to just copy it
Yeah.
if it's not that if I don't love it.
Yeah.
You know, and so in the processing of finding of women, girls, people, finding what their gift is, it was like, oh my God, when I read that is one of the gifts that people have is a gift of hospitality.
I
I
don't even know that
said,
people know that.
no,
I mean,
but
you
it's
know.
in the Word. And I said, that's me. That is my gift.
Yes.
Now, it's not the only gift, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
But that is definitely that brings, it meets a need, brings peace, it brings happiness, and it brings joy to just about everybody. I mean, Mim, you never felt like you were bothering her in any way, form, or fashion
No,
when you just
that's it.
walked in the door
That's it.
and here I am. And she started, and if she wasn't ready for you, she would pull
Oh, that was irrelevant.
whatever. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
She would pull out whatever cookie or candy or a cracker, or it didn't matter. She'd open up that refrigerator. What can I get you? You know, what do you want? What? And really, you didn't really want anything, but lots of times
Which
it
was also irrelevant.
That's right. She set it down in front of you, and I find myself doing the same thing because I want to serve you.
Yes.
You know, if I can serve you, then you will be happier,
yeah,
and it makes
I'm
me.
certain of
And
it.
I'm
Yeah.
certain of it, and it makes me happy to do so. It's a gift, you know, and
Which I think is how you know it's a gift is when something
absolutely.
is in you that comes out and brings you joy,
Yeah.
that is a service and brings others joy and peace. When there's the fruits of the Spirit that are brought out because of that act, which is peace and patience and joy and you know, it's like you feel those things, and that's how you know, oh, this is a gifting. Because there's lots of people, my whole life for sure, people asked or said, how do you do? I could never do that.
Absolutely.
And that's how you know it's not their gifting.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my very great best friends who is a minister in the ministry, has been in the ministry her whole entire life, literally when building her home, company and guest and extra rooms was not a part of the equation, at all. And whenever I've had people live with me, especially when my kids were young, people really see that as a real sacrifice.
Yeah.
When you have people in your home, when you already have kind of a lot going on. And she's just like, that thought stresses me out. That thought brings me unrest. You know, when I do have company or someone is in my space, I feel, anxious and kind of uncomfortable until they're gone, and then my home is kind of my own space again. And it's like, that's how you know that is not one of your spiritual gifts. Now, are we all called to be kind and host and open your home to whoever needs it?
Yes,
for sure. Obviously, that's not what we're
absolutely.
talking about. We're talking about the gift of,
Yeah.
and kind of the abundance of, and the going above and beyond. And when people say, oh, you just make everyone who comes in here feel so welcome or at rest, or your home is just so comfortable or welcoming or whatever. It's like that is when you are really operating in that gift that so many people
and
need.
it kind of comes out even when you're not even expecting it to say, "Oh, well, you can come live with us." Oh no! Wait, I haven't discussed that with everybody. Oh wait, did that just come out? And that is, it just comes out. Well, just come stay with us. We'll just come in with us. And there are a lot of people that having 15 people or even 10 people over at their house for like lunch or
dinner party.
a dinner party or anything like that. And I'm like, 15 people? I used to do 15 people at lunch on Sundays. I mean, that's not, but again, it's everybody has some gifting, and that's just the one we're talking about today. And everybody does not have that gifting.
Well, and we are all called to be hospitable.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just like we are all called to walk in joy. We are all called to love. We are all called to do those things. When it's your gifting, it just comes naturally.
Yeah,
exactly.
And like we said, but I think one of the things I have learned, one of the biggest things I've learned from just being around you and Tim, you and Dave, this whole place is how to create a space where people want to come. And it doesn't,
that's key.
you know what, it doesn't even, I mean, we're talking about homes, yes. If your house smells like trash, no one's going to want to come. You know what I'm saying?
there
Like,
definitely
you know,
is. There's
some practical
yes,
things.
for sure.
But even yourself, that you are becoming the person that people want to be around. Your marriage is the thing that people want to learn from. Y'all just had these young married couples, so many of them, over to your home, and you invited them. And then I said, when are we coming?
I got that.
When's
now.
my turn? And I texted you and I pounded you about it the whole time.
We've had
We've
had your group, and then we've had the other later in life group say, "Well, what's the deal?"
When are we coming together?
We had one man that texted Tim and said, "Don't be scared if you see a face veering into the window. It's just me and Sandy standing out there wanting to be in with what they're doing." Anyway,
upset we
But
weren't
that's
invited.
because people want to be around you and Tim. They want to be in your home. They understand what y'all have to say, and what you're providing for them is valuable.
But you're right, the home is inviting.
The home is inviting.
And I do think it's important to clarify that does not mean a big house.
Oh,
That does not mean an aesthetic Pinterest house. Because when we're talking about Mim, those things were real low on the totem pole of importance to Mim.
absolutely.
You know, it was just stuff, and it was about comfort and how many people could it fit and how many people could it seat. It wasn't that, and I think especially in today's social media world, we think that everything has to be perfect in order to invite people into our space. And that's just a lie. That's the enemy keeping us complete in bondage. I mean, you know, it's a complete lie.
Yes.
That like your home has to either, you know, look a certain way or be a certain aesthetic or be a certain size or whatever. No, what we're talking about comes from the inside out.
Absolutely.
That when I walk into your home, there is a spirit of calm. Yeah. There is a spirit of peace. There is a spirit of joy. There is that is the feeling that the Holy Spirit, you know, that comes, that's that gifting that we're talking about. That's that spirit-led home and energy and whatever, if it's marriage or roommates or single, you know, whatever it is, that comes from the inside of you into your space, you know? And so I do think, you know, I do think it's important to say that, you know, cleanliness is important.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I think that's, you know, I think that's important to say. But that doesn't have anything to do with how much money you have.
No, it doesn't.
And the size of your home. Yes. You know what I mean? That and people get hung up on that. It's like, I can't have people over, and they put a because on it.
Yes.
Instead of just saying whoever needs it is welcome. You know?
Absolutely.
And I have cultivated the space that allows that.
Yes.
You know, and at any time, relatively, anybody can walk it. You know, David can walk in with anybody and say, this, you know, we're here for this or that, and it's okay. You know, and that's, I think people get hung up on the, I'm not
I'm not
company ready.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not what we're talking about.
No.
You know, that's not the gift of hospitality where it's like, oh, we encourage all of you to have a perfect home and it be the perfect size and the perfect look, and then you're ready to host people. And it's like, that's not the spirit. That's not the heart of the Lord.
No.
You know, at all. And it's not the matriarch we learned that from.
Well,
and
even in having people, the gift is having people in your home and you doing real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's
you
it.
doing
That is
real
it.
life
Yes.
because real life is sometimes not pretty.
No.
Yeah.
But the people that you have there, they either come alongside you or you can do that and they don't even know it. It's one of two things there. They don't even know your heartache or your grief or your sadness or your madness or whatever it is at the time, or they can come along with your sadness and your grief and your hurt or your whatever and really be there to help you through that time. That's you having people in your home and you still doing real life. That's the gift of hospitality. That's the gift.
Well, that's what people want to see. I mean, I am a product of people being willing to invite me into the messiness of their lives.
That's it.
For sure.
That's it.
And still being willing to speak into mine.
Right.
And I have just this core memory. It's going to make me emotional. But when I was late teens, early 20s, my family was just going through such a terrible time. It was horrible. And my whole family's in Texas. I'm up here and I'm grieving. I'm angry. I'm sad. I have all of these emotions. And I have such a vivid memory of Paul Kern, who is one of mine and Jason's spiritual fathers, just for sure. Forever. Called me, was like, "Hey, why don't you come over?" He knew, because he knew I just was struggling so bad. They didn't come over to really talk to me, or they didn't invite me over to just have a discussion. They didn't invite me over to have a game night. They just said, "Come on." They made me a sandwich. They let me sit down at their couch. I think they had a game on. There may have been laundry. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he said, "We just thought that you might want to be around family."
That's it.
And
That's it.
what that did for me, there was no motive. There was no, hang on, give us an hour.
Right.
know what I mean?
Right. No, that's it for sure.
There was no, oh gosh, thank you. There was no elaborate meal,
No.
a sandwich.
Yeah.
But that meant everything to me.
Yeah.
That they would invite me
It'll
into
be
that.
a moment you'll never forget.
I will never. It's a core memory, and so because of that, and because Jason and I both have been the product of people being willing to invite us in to their lives, though they're also walking through things.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
We have to do that for other people. I mean, it's a non-negotiable for us.
Yes.
It is a part of everybody's development that they would experience hospitality in that way, and you experience the love of God in that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think one thing that really sets you free to do that, this was a lesson Mim taught me just not very long ago, honestly. But we were just talking one day, and I don't remember what the question was, but her answer was just how she held everything in her life with an open hand.
Yes.
And she did that. And she put her hand down. She said, "I held everything in my life with an open hand." And it's all stuff that the Lord has put in my life, and it's there, and it comes and goes. And she said, "My children, I have always held with an open hand. I love them unconditionally, but I don't have that death grip on them. I don't have that control. They belong to the Lord. My house." And this is, people say a lot of stuff, but Mim lived it.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and her house where she lived, that was just a house. And if she was in this one or that one or a camper or a trailer that was completely completely insignificant.
Yeah.
It did not matter.
No.
It did not matter. It was just a house to live in and to host people. It was like for the Lord. It was like, this is the house that he has me in right now, and whoever needs to be in it and a part of it. And then if I go here, whoever needs to be in that and a part of that. And, stuff was just stuff. The stuff in her home, the couches, the clothes, the jewelry. She had nothing that she put her claws into and had this control, and this is mine, and this is my space, and this is the stuff I've worked for, and this is what I've bought, and this was with my hard-earned money, or whatever people think.
Absolutely.
It's just stuff, and it was all so insignificant. Mim was so eternal focused.
That's it.
And what matters in eternity and what matters in the long term, that's people.
Yeah.
Period. And so people were what mattered to her. And if we could view, which is another thing I think a trap of our current generation with social media, man, there's such importance put on your stuff.
Yes.
What car you drive and what your jewelry line is and
Your
what
purse and your
your
shoes
I
and
mean,
your-
your stuff, your
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah, your
stuff,
stuff, your stuff.
Your children. I mean, we make idols of our children, and we want to control every little. They have to look so perfect and be so perfect because it is a reflection of us and all that. So we get this death grip on everything.
Yes.
People in our lives, the stuff in our lives, our home, instead of just saying literally every single thing in my friends. I mean, it all belongs to the Lord. It's from the Lord. It's for the Lord.
That's it.
And so there's freedom in that, where then anyone's welcome. And
Yep.
anyone's welcome. It's available because it doesn't belong to me.
Yes, that's
it's
so good.
not my home. I mean, that was her mantra.
Yep.
Every single thing in her orbit was for the Lord's glory.
Which segues kind of into talking about this generation and community. What Paul did for you that day, he could not have done if he had been doing this.
Oh, no.
And the generation that we are in now, the reason that you will see this hospitality community that we're talking about today, it will go away if you do not put your phone down and notice people.
See others.
We are talking about people, and that is the most important thing. It's the most important thing to God, and it's the most important thing to most of our mentors in the community that we are in. And with the generation today that they are in, they don't even see people.
Well, you have to see the hurt. You have to see it.
Well, you have to see the need. You have to see the need for that interaction, and you can't see it if your head is always down and you are not looking into the soul.
Yes.
Well,
of
to have
people.
the eyes of Christ.
That's
to
it.
literally say, Lord, show me.
Yeah.
You show me who needs to come into my home. You show me who needs to come into my orbit. You show me who needs to be embraced. You show,
Or who needs to come? Who needs a sandwich?
Yeah.
You know, who just needs a hug?
Yeah.
Who needs a? You know, it doesn't have to be all about living with someone or that. You know, a hug, a word, a smile says so much of the time too, and we're oblivious to that because we are innately selfish people.
For sure.
And
sure.
if
That's
we
what comes
can,
natural.
that is. And if we can get out of ourselves and see other people, that's the key. And that's what Mim did.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
Well, she let you in.
She
Into her home, into her heart, into her life, into her...
she saw other people. She really could have cared less about, obviously, her,
Yeah.
where she lived, what she did, any of that. She wanted you to know Jesus.
Yes.
She wanted you to know that you could be saved and he could change your whole life.
That's it.
Because
Eternal.
he's no respecter of persons.
Yes.
He did
And
it for
neither was
me,
she.
and that's right. And what he has done for me, she wanted him to do for everybody that she came in contact with. And you can't do that if you don't come in contact with people. She hated the phone.
Yeah. Oh,
She absolutely hated the phone because it does not create, you're not with people.
yeah.
You're with electronics.
Well, and I think the temptation too is the glamour of major influence is very enticing.
Oh yeah.
Where you can post something and it go viral.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gain a lot of followers. You can.
Well, then all of a sudden you're the big
can
deal.
Even post scripture. I mean, you can post a teaching of you. You can do that, and the hope would be that you would become incredibly influential via technology to where it goes out to more people. Now, that's not bad in and of itself.
Right.
I'm thankful we have all of that.
Sure.
We get to gain so much wisdom and knowledge from other people. Obviously, this podcast goes out to people virtually. So
Right.
I'm thankful. But when we choose influence via phones, via YouTube, via whatever, versus instead of influencing people in
Encounters.
our immediate
Yeah.
sphere, the people who God has put in our life, who we encounter face to face, and we say that's less important
Right.
than me having virtual influence
Yep.
than actual face-to-face influence.
It's not meant to be a replacement.
No.
It's meant to be an add-on.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's
It
like,
is in
wow, this is so
addition to.
amazing.
Yes.
In addition to
Yes.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
people in community,
I'm,
you know.
I'm happy for the phone because if my car breaks down, I'm going to call
Yeah.
Tim, tell him to come and get me. So I'm happy for that. But see, y'all are talking about something. I don't really want to influence people that have no connection with me out there. That's not a thing for me, which
Not
is
a
probably
tradition
good
for
because
you.
I'm not really an influencer of anybody that I'm aware of. Anyway, but to influence the people around you,
Yes.
that you know, where is your sphere
Yes.
that you have, and that. So I'm not mad at the phone.
Anti-phone.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-phone. I'm mad at the people who choose that over making encounters with people.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and you can post anything online. That's not a real world.
Yeah.
You know what you put most of
It's
the time.
very rarely a
it's-
genuine
It
representation.
is. It just it's just you're right. How many people can follow me? So I'm going to post the best
Yeah.
of what is happening out there when really and truly just, you know, that's not life.
Well, it's one thing if you use it to point people to the Lord,
Yes.
but
Yeah, it's a great
the,
tool.
But
Great
the
tool.
risk
absolutely.
is it becoming all about you.
Yeah.
You know,
Become all about you,
yeah,
or that
yeah.
you feel like that's your only form of influence when it's not. And maybe you
Yeah,
just need
for
to
sure.
be reminded that there are people in your life right now. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're in high school.
No,
I don't care if you're
that's
a young
it,
adult.
for
I don't
sure.
care if you're in your 30s. I don't care if you have young kids. I don't care if you are an empty nester. I don't care if you're a grandparent.
That's it. The season does not.
It doesn't
Irrelevant.
totally.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
You have influence with the people in your life. That is how God has designed it. And if you gain influence outside of that, praise Him.
For sure.
That is a gift, and it needs to be stewarded well. But at the end of your life, what are people going to say? I loved your videos. I loved what you posted. Or no, you changed my life because you invited me into yours.
And
That's
gave
it.
me a sandwich
Yes.
or a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the things we're missing. I feel like.
Yeah.
Those are the
And the
things we can't. Those are the things we can miss. Maybe we're not, but we can.
Yeah, the simplicity of it too. Like
Yeah.
I think when you do, especially probably when you're young, you know, you hear or you think about your future, and I think a lot of young girls would be like, oh, I can't wait to have my home and be able to host and do all this, but it's sort of a someday mentality. It's a
Instead of a
I
right
can't
now.
wait to have the house
Yes.
or a house that is big or looks like this, and when that happens, then I will turn into magically this beautiful hostess.
Hostess with the
You know,
mostest.
yes,
Hostess with the
yes, and
mostest,
you know
absolutely.
the tablescape and all the things and the perfect guest bedding and all the stuff. And what we're talking about is a heart posture and a
Yes.
gifting.
Yes.
And like you just said, that can literally start whatever. I don't care
want.
if you're in high school. I mean,
Yeah.
are you welcoming people into your life and your space? And
Yeah.
you know, are you being the hostess to that person and their life? You know, in college, in your dorm. You know,
totally.
how
Yes.
much are you willing to allow people in to your mess, your life, because you have something to offer?
Yes.
And that is the peace and the joy and the relationship with the Lord. And, you know, and whether you are actively preaching and teaching those things
Yeah.
or if just your life, they feel it.
Your life.
Yeah.
That you know, Paul and Angela did not have to preach you a sermon.
No.
The sermon was the couch, the chair, the home, the sandwich, the environment, the peace, the joy. You know, that's the sermon. You know, that's what it is that you're feeling. And so you don't, it's not a someday, it's not a it's not a season of life that you have to be in order to have that.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know,
For sure.
and again, I do, you know, it's one, we can't just say, oh, that's not my gifting, you know, so
I'm not gonna do it ever.
Yeah. Like, no.
Oh, good.
I'm
I
not
don't
needed.
have to have anybody at my
Yes.
house because I
that
know.
that doesn't come naturally to me and it doesn't make me feel good. So then that's not my gifting. So I can like put that one to the side. We're called to do, I mean, you know, the body of Christ.
Again, though, I do think there are degrees of it.
Absolutely.
I do think
There's
that
100%.
not everybody is called to
Have a bunch of people.
have a bunch of people. Not everybody's called to have someone live with
No,
them.
I
Not
think that's
everybody
different.
can. That's, you know, it's easy if you have the gift. It is not easy if you do not have that, for sure. And so we're not saying everybody ought to open your home and
No.
have a dormitory.
No.
That's not what we're doing, you know, at all. But some people also have a gift to teach. And I, you know, some people do, some people don't. And if you have that gift, then teach.
Yeah.
But
That's
if
it.
you don't,
That's it.
you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't teach if your life depended on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And
You
it all
could say a
has
few
to be
words
okay.
one-on-one.
Sure.
But to get up and do a
Yeah.
teaching like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I would say I don't think I have the spiritual gift of hospitality. I love it. I have benefited from it. I see the importance of it. We do it. We practice
Right.
hospitality.
Sure.
I don't think it's a gift for me. I am queen of, I made plans on Sunday and 3 days later, I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
But I have people coming.
Yeah.
And I have to get over it. And I literally have to say, get over it. Because
Do it
it's that
anyway.
important. And
Yeah.
so for us, again, like it's a non-negotiable. We do have people in our home.
I know.
We have
Yes.
we have dinners. We have game nights.
Yeah.
We have all the things. Friend, you know, all the things. But it's not for me, a gift.
You do it all.
I do it.
But you're glad when it's over.
Listen, and I can go in my bed and I
Get in my jammies.
and the house is clean. But I love having people I love people. I love having people in my home.
Sure,
But it
absolutely.
does not come as naturally. But again, the point is, I think we can make excuses for ourselves all we want.
Yeah.
To build a healthy community, you have to be
there's
a good community
I think there's a
member.
time and a season too for
yes.
everything.
Oh, that's
I mean,
so true. I'm glad you said that.
I mean, Ecclesiastes tells us that there is,
that's
you
for
know,
sure.
and so I think that the Lord gives you the grace for the season that you're in and for what's needed in that season and for the people or persons that need to be blessed, you know, and I think you have the grace when it's time, and then I think you can sort of feel when it's now is not that time for me or for us in my life or for what's going on. You know, I think when you are in relationship with the Lord, speaking to him and him speaking to you, you can rest and know I will feel when it is right and when it's not. You know, when this, and so just to be sort of open to that to where it's not like, this
have
has to
people
be
over every night.
yes all
Yeah,
the time,
no.
every
No,
day
no,
or
no. Well, and we
whatever. I
don't,
mean,
you know,
there
we
are
don't-
there are
there
seasons,
are
there are times,
definitely-
there are seasons, and there is
Definitely.
grace
Yeah.
for the season.
Absolutely.
You know,
we
that
have
we're in.
young kids and they're getting older. My youngest is almost 5, but we're getting to the point with Ada, my oldest, she's in 4th grade, and just the schoolwork is piling. So it's like, okay,
Right.
well, we can't have people over every night because
Weeknight.
we're doing homework
Yeah.
for several hours a day
Yeah.
and we're
It's
studying.
miserable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or there's a basketball game or there is and so it's like that. To echo
Yes.
what you said. We understand that right now.
Right.
We do not have the capacity to
That's
do
it.
that.
That's right.
And do what we need to do with our kids.
That's exactly right.
So they can, they can succeed and do all that. But that doesn't mean we don't ever, and it doesn't mean that it won't pick up at some point. But and our home is always available, and we have let people know that.
Yeah, for sure.
There are people who don't need an invite.
There are
just-
times-
but-
Constant seasons.
Yep,
for-
there are
Yes.
times, there are seasons, there are levels, there are all of those things. And so I do think it's important, because I do feel like people can listen to something like this and be like, okay, now I've got to do all the
Yes.
things all the time and have someone come live with me.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you have to do what the Lord is calling you to do.
Yep.
And what you're being gifted and graced
Yes.
to do in the season of life that you are in. And
Yes.
that's important to know.
That's right.
Well, I think the point is we were created to live in community. We were created to not live isolated lives. And we were created to live messy lives with other people, inviting them in. And I think another thing that we do have to understand is that as we give, God gives to us.
For sure.
Goodness.
We receive so much more than we can ever give away. And though our capacity is different in different seasons of life, though our relationships with people and friendships and what that looks like may change with different seasons of life, when we are willing to give, we receive so much more.
For sure.
I don't know what we would do without community. Where
body of
would we
Christ, yeah.
be? I have no idea. It's that important that we don't live isolated lives, that we can create community, that we can be a good friend, that we can be a good daughter, that we can be a good mother, that we can be a good, and as we give, we receive.
Absolutely.
sure.
And
For sure.
He's given us everything we need to do all of that. And Jesus was our example. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes he had 12. Sometimes he had 3. Sometimes he was isolated.
Yep.
Sometimes he had to go off by himself. Sometimes he had 5,000 sitting on a hill. He is our example in that.
Yeah.
And I truly think that if you are not, and we keep using the word community because that's so trendy, but church is really what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's the body of Christ.
The
as a
body of
whole.
Christ as a whole.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That we need. And, I mean, there's the body of Christ. Well, that is true for sure. But the body of Christ is all over everywhere. I'm talking about my portion.
Yeah.
Mine, church, family is another word for communicate for community.
Yeah.
So, that is so important because I don't know, we would be lonely is where we would be. We would be searching for our purpose, for our people. Everybody wants their people wherever they are, and times and seasons in that also.
Sure.
But I too wonder, because I got in on Christian Ministries Church when it was young, very young, but it connected me. That connected me to something. Brook Hill, when I was a counselor and worked there, it connected me to people that I've never lost contact with. So those things that the Lord is in, and the root of that keep you that way. I don't know what I would do without either one of those things in my life. And now, and your family,
Yes.
and your, you just keep reaching out for those other things that become that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's all needed. It's all necessary. And God gives you grace for
where you
where
are.
you are, when you are.
Yeah. But we can move out of our comfort zone to be, to
we
love
have
people, to
to.
serve people, to show hospitality, to continue to build friendships and that we can also receive from.
Well,
And so it's a
doing that,
blessing.
doing that, I think that's where our growth comes from too. Moving out of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
If it was really, really comfortable to me, how much growth would there be
Oh,
in
that's so
it?
true. Yeah,
zero.
That's
Real
easy
good.
for me, so there's no growth in that.
For sure.
So if you do something that is not easy for you, that's where you grow.
It's in discomfort
That's it.
Discomfort.
that
That's
we
That's
grow.
true.
That's it.
Exactly.
I mean,
if we only did what was easy.
For sure.
Man, I don't like that.
No, I know. Very few.
not
Very
like
few
that
of us
part.
really do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Miss Terri, thank you for coming on and giving your wisdom. We love you, obviously, and I personally just appreciate your influence in operating in your spiritual gift.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Sydney, a lot. It was an honor.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We love it. We love you.
Yay.
Thank you.